Well, I'm Lexi Benson. So I grew up in an LDS home. I met a return missionary, and we ended up getting married in an LDS temple. Felt like I was having this great life, and decided to live out my childhood dream and of becoming a police officer. So I went through the academy and became an officer, and I remember going to calls of domestic violence and telling these individuals that they need to get out of these unhealthy relationships when really I was going home to a very abusive home. So after some time, I decided to leave that relationship and I got divorced, and I stopped going to church. I stopped praying unless I needed something. And it was just all about me. And instead of, working through that process and trying to heal, I immediately got into another relationship. We were together for a couple years before I got married. I became a stepmom to two beautiful girls and thought I had this great life and everything was figured out. And then a couple years later, I discovered that he was wanting to leave me to pursue a relationship with somebody else. So I found myself getting divorced again, and at that point, I was devastated, broken, and I finally felt like I was hitting rock bottom. I turned to sin. I was making a lot of poor choices. I started drinking that I had never done before and drinking for the wrong reasons. But then I met somebody that was a member of New City Church, and they brought me back to God. I started praying, and I built a relationship with God that was the best relationship I'd ever had with him. And I remember just not wanting to go back to church. It just didn't feel right. And after a year, I realized I was still missing something. So I started searching and went to a couple churches before I found New City Church. And I just felt an overwhelming amount of peace in my life. And after that, I decided I was going to read the Bible. And through that, I just discovered that God has this amazing love for me, and that Christ came to earth to die for all of us, and that I could be forgiven for all of the sins that have been a part of my life. And after that, I realized that, all these things that I thought were trials and struggles in my life were really blessings, and they were God's path of getting me back to Him. And I've just decided that I just want to live a life for Christ now. And my goal is to read the Bible by the end of the year. And I pushed through it really fast because I was just really excited, and I had a lot of time off of work. And yeah, I'm 75% done with the Bible right now, and just like, I know I haven't finished it yet, but I've just had this like overwhelming amount of love and like desire to get baptized, and just know that like I'm doing the right thing and I'm finally on like the right path in my life, and this is where God's